boys. It's been a while. Um, what can I say? Life has happened, and I've been a little busy, but I have been honestly better than ever. I hope all of you are doing well. Some exciting things have happened recently, primarily with Disneyland getting its final Tiana's Bayou adventure look. I am watching the side by side video by LMG Vids, so you can go on YouTube and watch that with me. And I'm gonna do like a little bit of a compare and contrast of Disneyland's versus Disney World's Tiana's Bayou adventure. I had a lot of high hopes for Disneyland's, especially it's Disneyland's. It's the original Splash. It just has a very sentimental place in my heart. And when I first saw the video, I was a little in shock. I'm not gonna lie, but I think what we should just go one by one. So first and foremost, let's start with the barn color or the facade. And this is gonna be a raw, natural opinion. If you agree, if you don't agree, state your opinion, but please be respectful. I don't like the color of the barn. I think it sticks out like a sore thumb in Critter Country. And this just ties back to I don't understand what the storyline is for this attraction. Um, Salt Mine, why is it that bright? Critter Country, before, I mean, looking at the Splash Mountain facade, it just blended in perfectly. It looked natural, it looked real, it looked authentic. This looks fake. The paintings that are painted on that barn facade, I think my 9-year-old son could have done better work. That's not to say, the Imagineers weren't really trying, but yeah, I'm not a fan. The actual ride system itself, the queue and stuff, is pretty similar to Disney World. And of course, the logs really didn't get much of a character change. In fact, it got a demotion for me because there are no Brer Rabbit in the front anymore. But the first climb that you see, immediately right when I saw the compare contrast, I said, wow, there is such a difference with the rock work from Disneyland to Walt Disney World. Walt Disney World is a lot more jagged with their tunnels than Disneyland's, which is a little bit more carved, a little bit more fantasy, a little bit more whimsical, which, that's Disney. But overall, I mean, it's pretty much the same. The first humongous difference that I saw was the Tiana's food sign. Disneyland's looks a whole lot better. My only issue with the sign for both of them in general is it doesn't look hand painted. I mean, I think Disneyland's might be hand painted, but it just doesn't have that like authentic, like real raw, whimsical feel. I think that the wording could have been a little bit more cartoonish. I really do like the differences with the Disneyland like first drop that you see. You see Lewis. I don't know what he's doing. He's like behind a barrel somewhere. I think that's pretty cool. I really honestly like the wheelbarrow with the pumpkins. I think it's just great. Hey everyone, welcome in. And then right after that, you see that, is it an armadillo looking thing? I like the placement of Disneyland's better than Disney World's. But of course, the main difference is right when you go into the tunnels, right? The placements of the figures. Immediately, right when I entered that show building as an Imagineer, and especially now seeing it comparison, it's shocking because all the animatronics are gone. It's just a lot of screens and a lot of just forests, a lot of empty space. I like the position of Lewis in Disneyland as opposed to Disney World. I like when you don't see a figure for a long amount of time and you could just turn the corner and boom, there he is. That's one of the things that I personally loved about Splash Mountain. And of course, this Lewis animatronic is beautiful, but I don't know. I just like the placement a little bit better at Disneyland. And of course, all the critters at Disneyland, you could just already see the time comparison that Disneyland's is a little bit more condensed than Disney World's. And I like the placements of the Disneyland figures. You honestly get to see them a little bit more 360, which is fabulous and fantastic. I like the position of Tiana as well. I don't know what it is. Tiana moves a little bit better at Disneyland's, and I think that goes homage to the Imagineers and the creatives that worked at Disneyland Park. And again, The frogs are a situation when you get down to, miniature size by Mama Odie. I just, you know, I'm trying to remain as positive as I can about this attraction. I just don't understand a whole lot, to be honest with you. Just looking side by side, the animation of Lewis and Tiana. Tiana was the last hand drawn animation cartoon by Disney Animation Studios. Why is she computerized here? I do know that Mark Hinn just retired from the animation studios, so I know that there was potential, definite potential, to have him animate Tiana one last time. I think that would have been an amazing send off to an amazing animator. But they decided to go computer generated, which that's a whole thing all in itself. I don't agree with it. I guess to be positive, I think the lighting is really cool. The black light, I think it's very much like bow 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 in your face. But again, I see like a rainforest cafe frog. I just don't understand. The climb is probably one of my biggest issues of this attraction. And let me explain why. When you were going up the mountain, and I think the laser actually works a little bit better at Disneyland, it's a little bit more convincing that you are like being magically transported back to real life. But hey, welcome in. Um, the climb is supposed to be intense. It's supposed to be suspenseful. It's supposed to make you like get your adrenaline going. When you saw those vultures, I turned back if I were you, and you saw all these beautiful America Sings animatronics, and now you just see nothing for a very long time. And then where Rabbit used to be, you see a beautiful, gorgeous animatronic of Mama Odie. It's great, but I think that there could have been a lot more bottles in this scene. I think that she could have been like, "Oh no, are we gonna get you to the party? Oh no, what's gonna happen, guys?" It could have just been a little bit more fearful, and then she could have been at the bottom like, "You did it," or you could have just heard her. And I think that there should have been more of those glass bottles all throughout this tunnel, opposed to just at the very lift. But that's pretty much my biggest negative. The finale scene of this attraction is definitely the gym, the highlights, where the most money went. And that's not to say that there's not issues with it. Um, I like Tiana's dress in the finale scene. Hello, hello. I like the idea that she's in New Orleans and she's celebrating. I think what's missing from this attraction, truly, is hello, Lopez. I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm so sorry, but Fabiola Lopez. Hello, hello. Um, what's missing from this attraction, definitely, would be the music. The film had beautiful original music, and just like in The Little Mermaid, when we ride The Little Mermaid, we feel like we're in the film. It's amazing. When we're in Snow White and we hear the Seven Dwarfs, or we're in, oh, I don't know, Peter Pan, and we hear that music, there's something that's so familiar about it because we watched Tiana, Princess and the Frog at home. So it makes you feel like you're at home in that park. When you hear something original, it's gonna take a while to become a classic. It's gonna take a while for you to get to the point where you like that song as much as you like it in the movie. It's almost like competing. This is like a, sequel to the movie, if you will. But again, overall, I think that the idea itself was great for its own attraction. I don't think that it should have replaced Splash, and I think that's the issue that majority of people that I've spoken to have with this ride is the ride itself is it's fine, it's fun, but you took something that I think we all know was better than this, and that's the issue that I think this attraction will have for at least a decade or more in its life. Is it needs to that generation that knew what was there prior is going to have to phase out and age out, and it's just going to have to be touched by new people and for them to love it. But I think that just like with everything that's been replaced, that we look back at and we're like, oh, I liked this better. Sometimes you have to trust what you don't agree with and you just have to see what happens. I think we all miss, for instance, the auction scene in Pirates. Um, Pirates auction scene was probably one of the most iconic scenes from the ride, and now it's, Red has a gun, and Betsy, she has a chicken now, and I understand that it has to change with the times, but Disney is, I think, becoming a little bit oversensitized and a little bit too. It's important to know if you're offending somebody, but you, it's like voting for a president. That president will win the majority of the vote, but he or she will never please everybody, and that's an attraction. It will never please everybody. The kids love It's a Small World. It's great. Is it anything about that offensive? No. But what if you're afraid of dolls? What are we gonna do? Upgrade the dolls to human size because it's making people afraid? Haunted Mansion, there's a disembodied head. Is that offensive to somebody that, had their head cut off, in their family 4 years prior? It's offensive. Are we going to change Mount Leota? No. There has to be a line where if you don't like it, you don't have to ride it situation. Hey, Kyle. How's it going? Let's see. Reds Robins. If it was its own attraction, then most people wouldn't be hard on it. I agree. And that's the issue, right? It's if it would have been a new attraction, and I understand that Disneyland space is an issue. I understand that it's always been an issue, but at Disney World, there really is no excuse. Kyle, I have an imaginary Disney theme park resort with a Magic Kingdom park, and I will definitely keep Splash Mountain. 100%. You keep it. That's your park. That's your resort. It could be reverted back. It could happen. Maybe one day. Just looking at the finale scene, I'm watching it here on my TV. I think that the forced perspective is great. This scene is the most successful. And I believe that if every scene was this full and this alive and this energetic and it had this many figures, and let's just talk about the animatronics. Besides Lewis and Tiana, majority of these figures have very simplistic movements. They kind of just like rock. There isn't that much parts in it that make me feel like, wow, that is next level Imagineering. It's interesting and it's ironic because I remember working at Imagineering, and when we were changing the Yeti at the Matterhorn, so many of that talent saying, today's audience is more sophisticated and they are expecting more movement, better. And I'm thinking, okay, you took away animatronics that moved a lot better than these, because if you're complaining about the Yeti that just went like this, that's all they're doing is just rocking. But again, Disney let go of a lot of that true Imagineering creative team, and they put in people that are money people. So that's been the issue. Let's see. Also, theming and thrilling log ride. Bayou doesn't work. Bayou consists of still water. That's a good point. Why are there bears in the bayou? I've never been to Louisiana, but are there bears there? I see like rabbits, and some of these characters I don't even know who they are. I think that if I were to change anything in this ride at Disneyland, I would put in Dr. Facilier. I would definitely implement him or his ghost. Say like, I'm gonna get you, Tiana. Revenge. Jafar came back. Who else came back? There has to be somebody. Ursula had a sister, right? Morgana. So maybe Dr. Facilier could have a brother. I don't know. This attraction is a little bit of a hot mess. They don't have a villain in the ride. No. It's just an assault mine. I feel like Disney kind of just, okay, what can we do with this mountain? Let's make it salts. Okay. Conflict and tension would have helped with the plot. Yes. There's no threat. There's the story needs help. And speaking of the Yeti, what about the one from Expedition Everest? Well, they kind of forced Joe Rody out, so who knows? He was the only one that was like truly adamant about getting that fixed. Mm. There's other Imagineers in Florida that are actually super, super creative, um, that hopefully can do it. It's all budget, guys. I think that COVID hit Disney a little bit harder than they are willing to admit, and obviously you can see it through the price gouging, how desperate they are to make up for that. So it's an interesting time. Give me back a zippity doo dah right now. I know, right? I know, right? Is that Allie? Hmm. Um, let's see. After the finale scene, you see them. You just see two frogs. Why? Who are these frogs? Is this Tiana? Is this Naveen in frog form? Like, or you just put frogs there for the heck of it because that's what you associate the frogs with. I do honestly like the little like city scene where you see Tiana's palace in the background. I think that's cute. Um, and then that's it. Mama Odie's at the end. I think that's a good spot for her. I would have added some Firefly animatronics. Hey Allie, how's it going? For those that don't know, Quality Mess. She's my friend Allie. She met me when we were interns at Disney in the Disney College Program years ago. 10, 12 years ago, Allie. Um, I think it's a good spot for Mama Odie, but yeah. That's pretty much my review. I give Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Disneyland a very generous 5. It could be worse, but gosh, it could be better. And I just hope that once it's handed over to the parks, and this is the good part about Imagineering, a lot of you may not know this. So I worked in SQS under that Imagineering Anaheim umbrella. So we're in charge of the maintenance, care, and love of Disneyland. So enhancing, changing, upgrading, always for the better. There's a lot of things that could be better about this attraction. So I'm wondering about the Anaheim team, what they're thinking about upgrading this. Of course, it probably has to be under contract for at least 5 years before any major changes can be done. For instance, like with Ariel, the hair, when it first opened, it was like plastic and then it turned into realistic hair. Tiana's hair is already like that. I don't see an issue changing in the future. But I don't know, maybe the figures, the furring could be a little bit better on some of them. And I know that there's an amazing artist named Debbie in the audio animatronic department at Anaheim office that she's been furring for like 35, 40 years. So she's amazing. Red Robins. Do you like Red Robin? Is that why that's your name? Because I am a fan of their potato fries. Definitely. In terms of soundtrack, it's meh. Splash's soundtrack was whimsical and had a lot of emotional impact. People would come off the ride singing the song. Yes! You could hear the song all through Critter Country. It was iconic. It gave that land life. That life is now gone. Poor Pooh. He's just in the corner solo, but you know what? I am such a fan of Winnie that I hope that his attraction gets expanded. You know what really needs to happen? And I think that a lot of people would have been happy is if they're gonna turn this Splash Mountain into anything, if they would have brought the Country Bears back and put them in this, like Bear Mountain or Bear Ridge, something like that. I think the Country Bears inhabiting Splash Mountain at Disneyland would have been so much more fun. Just an idea. How are the costumes? I haven't seen them. What costumes, Alley Cat? What costumes for the ride? If you're talking about the ride, I think that the costumes are decent. Typical animatronic fabrics. I want bear characters to come back in the park. That is true. I think if anything, they could still include them into the ride. Let's see. Oh, I couldn't come up with anything better for my username, Red Robin. And red is my favorite color, and I just came up with randomly. Oh, okay. Well, it's a good name. I definitely like Red Robin, though. So Red's Robins is funny. Quality Mass for the... cast members? They're interesting, Allie. I don't really know how to say it. Are they salt miners? It's a hot mess, Allie. Hot mess. Bottomless steak fries. That's what I'm talking about, Allie. I think me and you went to Red Robin a few times. Me and Allie used to live together. A long, long time ago. And we used to always go to Chili's and get their tomato. What was it? That tortilla soup was that it? Gosh, it was so good. Oh, you're looking them up right now. Yep. Tell me what you think. Are they terrible? I don't know. It's just changed the whole format of Critter Country as a whole. Critter Country definitely could use an expansion. I know Disneyland Forward is working on that. Bring back Country Bear Jamboree, Disney. Listen to me. Bring back Country Bear Jamboree. We got to get it back. We got to. Um, Another thing that I think would really benefit Disneyland, especially Disney Fantasyland, would be a thrill coaster. So I think the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train would be a fantastic addition. Chicken enchilada soup. That was it. That was it. Okay, so Red Robbins says what I think is they should have done give Splash an original theme song. The theme was really an issue. Yes, make it centered around the America Sings characters, new storyline, soundtrack. 100%. 100%. I was surprised that none of the animatronics from Splash or America Sings survived. Why? The Gator Boys, there's a following for them. I'm surprised none of them survived. They're gators. It's the Bayou. They're beautiful animatronics. I worked on those. Let's see. Why on earth is the attractions cast member wearing an apron? That doesn't make sense. A lot of stuff doesn't make sense, Ellie. A lot of stuff doesn't make sense about this attraction. I don't know. I don't know. Why is there a water tower in the middle of Critter Country? Can someone explain that? Like, I think that they just needed to do something with the facade, so somebody somewhere probably just thought, let's throw in a water tower. The signage just looks like they went to FedEx and had it blown up. That's my issue. It needs to be a little bit more whimsical. It needs to have a little bit more character. Okay, the costumes are worse than my Main Street ones. Aww. Allie used to work in Jolly Holiday. I tried on that apron once, Allie. I remember. Allie used to wear like this, was it yellow? Dress and like with the white apron and stuff. But you look like Alice, so it was great. I prefer Country Bear Jamboree than Country... Oh, Kyle. You just tore off the Band-Aid on a scab on that one. Oh, I do too. I'm sure that photo is somewhere. Allie, I have archives. Somewhere. From what I heard, they didn't want to reuse figures that would remind guests of Splash. Well, I'm sure they exist in the archives, and I'm sure they'll be on display at some point. I think no matter what Disney is attempting, we are going to compare. And unfortunately, that's just the long and short of it. What do they expect? That's what happens when you replace something, especially so coveted. It'd be like redoing Haunted Mansion. Is anything safe, is my question. Is any attraction safe? I heard now that Lincoln's going to be converted to Walt Disney animatronic. How does everybody feel about that? A Walt Disney animatronic. I really do hope that they take the Blaine Gibson sculpt of his head and convert that, because nobody could sculpt like Blaine Gibson. For those that do not know, Blaine Gibson was an Imagineer that sculpted pretty much all the pirate heads, Tiki Room Birds, Small World doll heads, an amazingly talented man. My personal favorite Imagineer. And yeah, he did the Walt and Mickey partner statue. So I think that his edition or version of Walt was probably as close to his face as anybody could probably get, because he actually knew Walt and, saw the wrinkles up close. From what I heard, okay, let's see. Oh, I know. I do have the Rapids photo still, Allie. It exists. I just saw it the other day, actually. I didn't send it to you, though. I was like, I'll give her a break this time, but next time I go buy it, I'm going to send it to you. Sorry, that's just my opinion. On what, Kyle? Let me go back. I prefer Country Bear Jamboree than Country... I prefer Country Bear Jamboree than Country Bear Music. Kyle, I agree with you. There's no need to apologize. I agree. I think that it was better. Apparently, Imagineering veterans aren't happy because it goes against Walt's wishes. I mean, it makes sense. It's definitely, it's going to be odd, to say the least. It's going to be a little bit different to see, wasn't there a projection of him? Let's see. I like that they're also keeping great moments, and it's just going to be rotating show. So is it going to be like Carousel Progress, where like it just like moves and it goes into Lincoln? Hi Royce, what's your Instagram so I can show you my evil hag? Hey Capture Thrills, my Instagram is Imagine with Royce. That's how you can find me, or you could just Google Royce Alcozer and it'll pop up. Um, it's the same logo or picture as you see here. It's me with the Barker bird. I think that's the idea, and I assume that they will have different show times for the different shows. It'll be interesting. If anything, Allie, I hope that Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln and the Walt animatronic are equal in believability, because I can see Lincoln breathe, and that's something that always is so impressive. Also, I find it insane that Disney will refresh literally anything in the park except for Tomorrowland. You know, Tomorrowland, it will forever just be pushed to tomorrow. I think that Tomorrowland, specifically at Disneyland, their biggest issue is taking out the people mover. I really was shocked that during COVID, and I'm sure it was financial, because that would have been the golden opportunity to take out that old track, but that limits them. So either take it out or upgrade it, repair it so that you can bring back the people mover, because that's what's missing from Disneyland Tomorrowland, is something that truly wows you. I was honestly surprised Star Tours didn't just move to Galaxy's Edge, where it belongs. Um, but that's not original trilogy, but that's a whole nother issue because it was supposed to be. I remember those conversations. The stage will be even more terrifying in the dark with both of them there. Oh yes. So when Lincoln is off, he kind of is like this, like come at me. That's his standby pose. It's really funny. Fun fact: Lincoln was only able to be painted by my mentor Doug. No one else was able to paint him, which was cool. But I got to watch him be painted. Let's see. It says no results, but when I go on my mom's account, it pops up. I have no idea what to tell you. You know, some people, I go on my security and it says logged in, oh, not Bakersfield, Gorman, some weird city, really far away. So I don't know if anybody has access to my account. Um, that scares me. The Barker bird is from the Enchanted Tiki Room, right? The Barker bird, yes. However, the Barker bird that I'm referring to is the one from Pirates of the Caribbean in Florida. That one specifically is that one. He's supposed to be coming back, which is really cool. Really, really cool. Y'all, I got to meet John Stamos. He invited me over to his house. That was amazing. That man was so nice. His son and my son got to play and stuff. For those that do not know, I'm fostering an amazing, amazing young man that has changed my life. And I always thought Disney artist was the best role, but truly being a dad is the best role. Yes, Capture Thrills, just upload it. I'll look at it. That was like insane. I know, Allie. I didn't think it was real until I went to like the gates in Hidden Hills, and I was like, Royce to see John, and they were like, oh, and the gates open, and I drove up to his house, and there he was standing outside. I was like, oh, what up, John? Very humble man. Get his book. He has a new memoir out. I think it's called "If Only Somebody Told Me" or something like that. Okay, but how he messaged? You know, he's been following me for years, Allie, and he's been messaging me for years. But it wasn't until recently that he reached out and he just wanted to hang out. So I was like, cool. So we did. I was there for hours. His wife is so sweet. Also, their son's amazing. Just an amazingly humble, downhearted, just genuine, good people. Family. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I don't know, Disney. I went to the Mickey's Halloween party recently, and y'all, That was intense. They were giving out like full size packets of M and M's, not the little ones, like full size. And then I ate the peanut butter one, and I'm allergic to peanuts, so then I started freaking out. Don't eat M and M's in the dark. Lesson learned. Um, but yeah, the Mickey's Halloween party was really cool. I was expecting to see Meg, and I didn't see Meg. I was really disappointed. But they also had yeah, Ali, you remember my allergies. But it had Madam Mim from The Sword and Stone, so that was really cool. It had Agatha. The new episode. Have y'all been watching Agatha all along? If you haven't, check it out. It is amazing. Every Wednesday, a new episode comes out. I think we only have two more. After Rings of Power ended, all I had was Agatha. So Gilded Age season 3 better be coming out pretty soon. And finally, Outlander, part 2 of season 7, a year later, is coming out. I like the milk chocolate M&Ms. Me too. Me too. They're the only ones I can't eat. But yeah, Madam Mim was out. I also saw for the first time in all my years of going to Disney, for the first time I saw Pain and Panic at Disneyland. I used to, fun fact, work in character heads for a little bit, and I used to paint the character heads. Like, I painted Goofy, I painted King Louie, Sully, just all the walk around, Chippendale, Miko, all those characters. And I remember there was like this humongous Bible binder full of all of the characters, and I saw Pain and Panic in there, and I was like, when are these guys gonna come out? Where are they? One of the guys' names, his name was Steve. He was my pal, and he used to drop off the heads in the morning, and I was like, where's Clip-On's costume? Where's this? And where's the Shepherd's Journal? Where's the hyenas? And he took me in and showed me like where everything's stored. It was interesting seeing Pocahontas' dresses and stuff. That was pretty cool. Let's see. I have to head to a work meeting, but I'll see you. I hope I get to talk and see you soon, Allie. I miss you so much. Have a good day. I really do. It's so sad. You know, I wish I could see people more. I feel like sometimes I'm under house arrest. Being a dad does that to you. I do have to get going too in a few, but that is my review of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Did you see Judge Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit at Oogie Boogie? No, I didn't. I saw Oogie Boogie. He was pretty terrifying. Who else did I see? I saw Agatha. She was there. I saw Mickey, Minnie. I'm trying to think of walk around characters or people that were just like stationed. You know what we did is right when it was converting to regular day to the party, all the lines went away. So we went on Web Slingers. We walked right on. We walked right on to Guardians. We walked right on to Mermaid. And Credit Coaster had closed. And we didn't see Sid. We didn't really go around that area after dinner. By the way, DCA, where do y'all like to eat? Because I went to like that back corner where like the Coco thing is. And I just, it's been probably a solid year or two since I've been to California Adventure, and I only go to Disneyland. And I was like, yo, where's the food? They used to have like plates of food, and now there was only like one salad of each, and the pizza shrunk. Didn't they used to give you pizza slices? Now it was just like individual little mini pizzas, which my son liked, but I was like, didn't they used to have like spaghetti and chicken Alfredo and all that? I don't know, it just seemed different. I got a churro. That was good. I do love a good churro. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what other villain we saw. I think that's it. And we didn't stay long because school the next day, so we had to leave pretty early. But it was a good time. It was a good time. You know, I would say that I like the idea of the party at Disneyland more because I like seeing Zero fly around the castle. I like that fireworks show. I think there's nothing more climactic to an evening or to a party than the fireworks show. I know this much for sure. No one's going to stop me for going to the Sweetheart Night this year at Disneyland because Royce has been waiting 32 years to meet Milo and Kita. And I gotta meet him. I love Atlantis. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I would love, love, love to meet Kita and Milo. I remember my first time to Disneyland. It was in 2000, 1999 or 2000. Maybe it was my second time I went there. Because the first time I went there, it was in 1999. That was when Tarzan came out. I saw Kita and Milo in Tomorrowland, somewhere. And I didn't get to meet them, but I only went to Disneyland, guys, about 4 times prior to working there my whole life. I went there when I was 9. I think I was like 14, and then grad night, and then one other time with my family, and then I worked there. So it was very much a new park to me um, before I worked there. Good memories. Well, folks, that's gonna be it. I'm gonna log off. But thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna go check out your short. And is she spooky? Is she outside? We'll see. Um, Mine's outside. She ended. It got really windy here, and she like fell over, but nothing broke, which is amazing. She fell the right way. She didn't go flying. She fell in her cauldron. Does yours have a cauldron? I didn't even get to finish my cauldron this year. Too much stuff has too much stuff has been going on. But thank you. Yes, I'll see everybody really soon. Take care. Be safe. Have a good weekend. And it's outside. All right. It's outside. Very cool. I'll catch y'all later. Okay. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Let me see how I end this. Go ride Tianas Bayou Adventure. I'm only 16 and I'm so proud of it, as you should be. As you should be. Keep creating. Keep dreaming. You'll make it. I totally